Hey y'all, how's it going? So I stopped trading after this trade, like right after, because I decided to go out. I ate out today for lunch. So I didn't trade any of this, any of this stuff down here. So anyway, so we have the highs here, overnight lows here. We're in this range to start out, and now there's a repeat pattern today. I took this, and then I took the repeat pattern, which is over here. So now price action happens on levels like I talk about. So this downtrend, you can see it as a break and a new low, but that's not really what I consider it to be. I consider the break over here, and then at first what happens is you get this break, first attempt at a new low, second attempt at a new low, failure. And that's very short term. And as more price action forms, you're going to get attempts to play out the same trend on a bigger picture. So then it turns into break, and then first attempt lower, second attempt lower, failure. And then when that fails, that makes these two measured legs up. And so at this point, basically what you have is a downtrend with a two-legged break, expecting a new low, and then it does make that on the bigger picture. And so for this trade, I'm expecting a new low for the downtrend, and we have it's not just that it's a two-legged break, it's that it's two attempts to fade the range, the overnight range. So first attempt fails, second attempt fails, and it acts as a failure. It's like a trap. It fails. If it succeeds, it succeeds, and if it fails, then it fails very strongly. That's generally the rule for failures of any kind. And it's the same thing with attempts to fade. It's attempting to go back into the range, and it's failing for a second time on the big picture, which is equaling a two-legged break for this downtrend here. And what you technically get a failed second entry reversal pattern. How I saw it was really just a lower high, and it's just a lower high with perfect context. And I saw that it had a break and new low on a very small picture there, but I decided to just take it anyway, because you could also see it as a breakout pullback for that congestion. But the main thing is that we're expecting a new low for this downtrend, and I'm entering along with the failure. And that's also basically the only time it's okay to, enter along with the breakout. Generally, you want to fade breakouts, but if there's two attempts to fade and then it fails, rushing below the EMA, going into a reversal pattern, that's something I'll take. So, and then it happens again here on an even bigger picture. So, rather than having like here, so let me just explain. We have the downtrend break, and then first attempt lower, and then second attempt lower, brings it down to a new low. And since it's played out, now this next trade wasn't trying to make a new low for this downtrend, it already had a new low. So now a lot of the buyers are going to say, okay, this downtrend played out, now it's time to fade. That was trying to fade too early. Now it'll probably fade this time. And so, because the downtrend played out. But then you get two measured legs up again, rushing back below the EMA as soon as it hits the measured move. That's two even bigger attempts to fade. So they tried to fade while the downtrend was still in play. Didn't work out so well, and now it's failing again, even though it's out of play. So it's a failure, and it's like a trap. So it's going to lead to a very strong move. If it doesn't succeed, it's going to fail very strongly. So the exact same thing happens. It fails to fade for the second time, and it rushes back below the EMA and gives a reversal pattern. This is a more clear reversal pattern because I'm actually entering on the second attempt to make a new low for this short-term downtrend here. You see downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. And I got out before the lows here, or at the lows. I didn't want to push it too far. But so that's what I was thinking there. It's a pretty good-looking trade. Now, so I guess I'll talk about this trade here. So this trade here was basically an entry looking to fade not only this small range, but also this bigger range and the overnight range. And so downtrend just played out with a break and a new low, and then we immediately go into this uptrend with a break, expecting a new high, second entry long, and it clearly made a nice range here with a breakout. That's a perfect place to reverse higher, because the downtrend's played out, and then even from this downtrend, it looks like it has a couple attempts lower, but that's not the important thing at all. The important thing is that this big downtrend has just played out with a break and a new low. You rush back above with this uptrend here. You get a break of the trend line, uptrend, break, first attempt higher when it ticks higher, and then I'm entering on the second attempt higher. It is not above the EMA. Generally, I'd want it to hold above the EMA, but I excused it because it made a really good looking range that it's breaking out of, and most breakouts will fail. And then since it's in this range, chopping straight through the EMA, that makes me not worry about the EMA. So I didn't mind riding that to the highs. And yeah, so anyway, so that's the general market structure. I'm probably not going to go look at every single tick today in this video. But you know, I explained these trades here, and then I didn't. I'll go over the stuff that I didn't trade. So, oh yeah, you know, when I was in the site, you know, something funny happened. It's not necessarily funny, but it's, you know, just something I thought I'd share. So when I entered on this trade, I saw someone post in the site. They were long from right here. They were long right here, based on I forgot if they entered long here or like right above that. No, it must have been here. Their stop was below here, and then I was short, and they were long. I was like, dang. I didn't immediately start typing out that I was taking the inverse, but you know, that was the first time that's happened, where I was in a trade and then I see one of the members post that they were in the inverse. But I didn't immediately type it out. Because I saw some other people writing that they were also that they were short, and then their reasons why. And so I'm pretty sure that he got hit. I think because I ended up writing a post before he got hit. I don't know if he got out at break even or not, but I saw that he ended up shorting here, and then he wrote it down to here, which I think it's a generally good trade. I mean, it's just kind of the bigger picture version of what I took. I mean, downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. I'm treating it as downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower. He took it as downtrend break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, which is valid. I was a little bit scared of shorting into all that resistance, but it's a good looking context area. So even if he did get hit there, you know, that's fine. You know, he's going for 1 to 2. He made up his loss and then some, so that's very good, and just thought I'd mention that. But anyway, we have a couple legs down here. So yeah, 2 legs down. We failed to fade the overnight range and successfully faded this shorter range here. But anyway, we got a couple legs down. We got this breakout pullback, which, I mean, I don't want to go short on a breakout pullback like this, because you have 2 legs down already, and then just a first entry, you know, to go short off of, and it doesn't touch the EMA. So I don't see anything good there. So but we push down. We get first entry short, second entry short. I mean, that's really just shorting really low, which I should probably extend this now that I'm back. So downtrend, break, first attempt lower, second attempt lower, but I mean, really, you can tell that's 1 leg up right there. Even though you have 2 legs, that's 1 leg up, so it doesn't seem good. But then you get a second leg up. So it's an alright area, because here's the thing. I really do think, oh, hold on, I'm going to turn off my phone. I don't know if y'all heard that text, but I got a text. So anyway, now I talk about not liking breakout pullbacks a lot, but I think this is actually a good context area, because the fade failed, and so the fade of the overnight failed. That's a big push of momentum, and then we're still in this downtrend that directly formed from the momentum of the failure, and so we're expecting a new low for that, and you know, clearly on the bigger range, that's a bearish imbalance, you know, heavy. And then you have 2 measured legs up, breakout pullback of this smaller range, but still very significant, and expecting a new low for this major downtrend. So I think that's a really good context area. Of course, like I said, I was not trading, so I did not get it. But yeah, I would want to get out maybe before that low, just in case it doesn't make a new low. So, and with how big that entry would be, I think 1-to-1 would be good on that. So, you know, look, I think it looks pretty good. And so it makes a new low, downtrend break, new low, and then it attempts to reverse, rushes above the EMA. You finally get the pullback, second entry. Right there, you can see first entry long, second entry long. That's really just one move down. You can draw it over one trend line. And then, so it's like uptrend, break, expecting a new high, it makes a new high, and then it just goes down. So, I guess that's really it. Nothing really happens. I mean, you can see this right here, I guess. So we had this 2 legs up, breakout, pullback off that range, rush below, had 1 leg down into this range right here. So it's like downtrend break, new low, breakout of this congestion, fade. I would be done with buying, so that doesn't look like something I'd be taking now. Anyway, so I mean, if you bought there, you know, if you understood that the downtrend played out and you're at those lows and not trying to push it too far with your target, then I guess, you know, you can take it. But it's just, I would be a little bit afraid of buying at this point. I would just be looking for some shorts. So anyway, it looks like we could be going into like another range kind of thing right here. So yeah, that's going to do it for the video. I apologize if I missed a few other things in here. I kind of just went over the major context areas. You know, hold on, I guess I'll talk about this. So it's like here you can see you have an uptrend break, new high right here, and then someone actually took this short, I remember. Here's what my thoughts are on this. So there's a reason I don't like going short right there. I think it's a lot better when you get the close below the EMA. And there's a reason I want it to close below the EMA in this case. So like you see this trade, how it bounces right there, has a big bullish bar closing above, and then I go short on that bearish bar. Now, that you see that bounce, how it's just kind of a higher bounce than that. What I didn't like about this, I didn't like how it was so bullish closing all the way up, and the fact that it retested this low down here. It made this double bottom, and then a massive jump higher, and it closing all the way, almost all the way at the end of the bar, after making this double bottom here, and then you have that. It's like a triple bottom. That's just too risky to take above the EMA, so I'd want it to close back below. But it's a general okay context area, as long as you can get out before. I would want to get out before that triple bottom, but I didn't even enter on any of that. And so that's why I didn't like that. But here you might say, yeah, but it's rushing above the bullish bar there. But it's not nearly as significant. It didn't make a double bottom with a major swing right like that one did, and it actually has a lot more wick on it. So, you know, oh, and it's in a better context area. I mean, we're still expecting a new low for this downtrend, and it's immediately after a fade failure, a 2-legged fade failure. And, you know, this is not really after 2 measured legs, so it's not nearly as good of a context area. It's all right. I think it's a good trade. You know, as long as you get out before that low right there. I wouldn't even want to push it down to these lows, because, you know, it can just turn up from there. So, especially with it not being perfect context, you know, it's all right still. But anyway, it's not immediately after a 2-legged fade failure like that. So with all that bullish momentum, I don't think I would want to short that above the EMA. But anyway, just thought I'd touch on that. So yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. And yep, have a good day, everybody.